Well, welcome back to Carolina Saltwater Living, y'all. If you haven't noticed, or maybe you have, there used to be a dump trailer sitting right here. Used to be. Sold that thing, y'all. Hadn't used it but twice since we moved to the coast a year ago this month. I decided I needed something that would actually make my business money versus a trailer that's just sitting there needing to be maintained. And I'm going to show y'all as time goes on here, once I get what I have got to order this morning, something for the excavator that's going to really help me offer some different services. But today I'm going to show you the completed outdoor cook shack. I'm excited about it, y'all. I've been wanting something like this for years, and finally I have it. So here she is, tucked in here beside the shop, and this outdoor storage shed is an 8x12 outdoor cook shack. So I built a sturdy little landing to come up into the cook shack. Nice wide, 4-foot wide opening here at the front. Had some leftover rope that I had used on another project, and yeah, it's probably not as decorative as I really want it to be. I kind of was wanting a fishing kind of theme back here, and hadn't gotten there yet. Lisa had a few things she wanted me to put up and that were sentimental to her. So that 25-cent car wash, I believe that was from her grandfather's country store. So that's pretty cool. That's in here, protected from the elements now. Got the double burner propane cooker over here. We have used this thing so much, y'all, from canning vegetables to frying outside. And that's what it's going to be used for out here, is for canning vegetables when we have that need, and for frying fish, French fries, burgers, whatever needs to be fried, something seared, we'll do it right here. Put me a simple little shelf in, y'all. Had plenty of leftover lumber from doing this job, and I just attached this up here with some of those torque screws. Had some of these hooks in the house left over from a different project. So now I can hang barbecue utensils up here, you know, when I'm frying stuff. Put seasonings up here on the top or whatever I want to. A little outdoor radio I've got, a little solar powered radio. Speaking of solar powered, Lisa got me these cool little lights that go all the way around the inside of the cook shack. And it's got a little, over here on the side, you can see it mounted up there, a little solar panel. And that's actually facing west, because Holden, where we're at here, is the south facing beach, but it's going to get plenty of afternoon sun to keep these little lights charged. I really wanted to make this thing like a man cave, and I was going to put this on the back wall, but Lisa wanted me to class it up just a little bit. But I like old advertisement, y'all, and this is really something you don't see a lot anymore. But I like that little tin sign. But up above it here, this is the old chopping block. It's red oak that I used to use on the old homestead chopping barbecue. I put it up here, sanded it down, got it soaked in mineral oil, and it's really just going to be more of a focal piece in here than it would be for chopping anything. I've got one of those HDPE or heavy plastic, whatever it is, cutting board, 4-foot, that can go up there on it. And I may throw some slabs of meat up on there, but I just like it, y'all. It reminds me of the old Piney Woods homestead where we came from. I like it because that was milled from lumber off our old place. Over here, I kind of just built a little surface here, because on top of this, the mother-in-law gave us one of those little Blackstone camping griddle things, the flat top cooker. And that's perfect for Lisa and I. Put a couple of steaks on it, do whatever, you know, if I want to cook breakfast out here. You got to be thinking about power outages and things like that. And that's one reason that we built this cook shack. Got a little $16 storage container, plastic here. Lisa got, I think, off Amazon for me. And it's contained in a couple of buckets with lids with my pellets in there. Got an old rack over here. I'm not sure what I'll do with it yet. But for storage in here, needed a few things. And the main piece of cookware inside of here is this new pellet grill, pellet smoker. I'm not really sure what you call it. I've never had one before, but I'm gonna pull the cover off this thing and show you what we ended up with. I bought it last year before Christmas, as soon as we moved down, on just a fantastic deal, and it's been in storage here until now. It's gonna get its first burn today. So this entire structure is built like a pole barn. I used 4x6 treated lumber. Everything's treated on this thing. 4x6 is on the front. I've got 3 across the front, and I didn't split the difference because this thing is 8x12, and it's exactly 8x12. I did 4-foot open in here so that you can come in and out with a grill or what have you easy. And I did a longer space over here, just 8 feet, just so that you got plenty of counter space to work with. Roof joists, 2x6s, plenty of hurricane straps, y'all, because sooner or later one's gonna roll through here. Plenty of hurricane strapping on both sides of those, as well as on the back side. 4x4s on the back, because it's not as tall. I think the front's about 9 feet tall. The back's only about 6.5 feet. And then 2x4s wrap the entire thing here. And I'll show you if you can see daylight here. I built this thing with not a whole lot of overhang. I mean, there is overhang. If there's a blowing rain, it's going to blow in. But this is a smoke shack, a cook shack. And I want for that smoke to just roll up out of here whenever I'm cooking something, whether it's from frying or from using this new pellet stove. So pretty cool. The floor is all 2x6 joist. I believe I put them on 18-inch centers. And I believe the roof trusses I did 22-inch centers. That's how it worked out. And then just treated decking material for the floor. And it's not perfect. There's some wide gaps in places. I'm not worried about that at all, y'all. This thing, I drew it up on a notepad and I said, this is how much I need. And I didn't order really any overages. And normally I'll figure like 10% over for, you know, waste. But this time I didn't, and it still worked out. It's just fine for me. So the entire cook shack is sheathed or skinned in this same metal like our building is done with. The roof, the walls, everything's done that way. I even threw scrap metal up underneath the building to prevent weeds from growing up through these cracks. But let me tell you a little story about how the Lord blessed us with that metal. When the 3 men that came and installed our new shop were finished, they were ready to get home, and they had a big load of metal on the trailer where somebody had put up a building. It was 90% complete, and the man that had ordered it, his wife came out and looked at it, didn't like the colors, and she said, no, this ain't happening. She wanted something different. So they took the whole thing down, called their boss and said, what do you want us to do with this metal? And they said, well, do you think the guy there would want it? Because they're going to scrap it. It had already had holes in it. I said, yeah, I'll take it, because I was thinking I got projects like this. Boys, put it wherever you want to. So we ended up, I figured it up, even with it being considered used metal, because it had holes in it. A few pieces didn't. It's about $2,000 worth of metal, y'all, even at the used price, because it had some holes. So the Lord really blessed us right there, I'm going to tell you. And, you know, if you've watched our channel for any amount of time, you've seen where I've been duped a time or two on jobs I've done for people and things of that nature. So everything evens out in the end. And so really tickled with all this metal. And we got a ton left, y'all. We got other projects to do with it. But just really, really tickled with this. I just came through everywhere there was a hole. And it's not a bunch of places. Some of the holes actually lined up with my little scabbing boards up there that I needed to attach metal to anyways. These little 1x4s up here. is what it's attached to, with the self-tapping, you know, metal screws. Just put silicone in these little holes, y'all, and that solves it. Yeah, it's got a little eyesore to it, but Lord, so do I. So it's time for the big reveal. What kind of cooker did we get? Got us a Pit Boss. They had these things on sale. Actually had 2 of them left last year at Lowe's close to us here, and this is the one I wanted. It's the 850 and it's the Pro Series. Never had a nice grill like this, y'all. I've had some old cheap gas grills and charcoal grills in the past. I just wanted something different. I love barbecue cooked over wood coals, and obviously I'm not going to take all day to do that anymore, so I wanted something that was a little bit simpler to give me a similar profile and taste. So ended up with this Pit Boss and bought this thing, y'all, for less than $400. And it's, I think it was selling for about $5.50 back when it came out. But check this thing out, y'all. Plenty of cooking space in here. I like it. I like it. It's got these ceramic coated cast iron grates, and I've used those before on charcoal, and so I know they're pretty good. And a top rack, and I like that it's got this little slider right here. You can see that down in there. You'll see it later if you don't see it now, but you can, supposedly you can flame broil some stuff and maybe sear it off like if you're cooking a burger or a steak. But mainly I got this thing for slow cooking, y'all, because that's what we really like. Holds about 20 pounds of pellets over here on the side. Came with a temperature probe and one of these newfangled controllers that can hook to my phone if I want it to through an app. I'm not sure if I'll do that or not, but that's pretty cool. We're gonna burn this thing off, and that's what I've been looking forward to, getting this thing burned off, seasoned, and ready to cook. So I just verified that everything works as it's supposed to. I'm getting ready to do the burn off for this grill, and I'm gonna start off on this piece of plain steel here, mild steel. Already got a little rust showing where it's been out here for a few days. Got some grapeseed oil. Spray a little bit on it. I'm gonna do front and back with the grapeseed oil. And I'm gonna burn this thing off, y'all. I believe that was water that come out to start with, because where it been washed. There we go. Now I got oil. Smear that around on there good. And I'm gonna do a burn off. I'm gonna do 2 of them, just to make sure that I somewhat season this. It's gonna rust, y'all, but I'm gonna try to prevent some of it. All right, got some smoke rolling. You gotta prime this thing to make sure that the auger feeds pellets down in. Got a fire burning. Now I can get my slider and my divider, all that stuff back in there, and let this thing do a burn off for about an hour. All right, I like seeing that smoke rolling, y'all. I got it set, got everything back in there, the grates included, because I want anything from the manufacturing process, any oils that they use in producing this to burn off, as well as that grapeseed oil that I put it on the inside of the lid, which this is probably powder coated. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong, so I don't know if that really serves any purpose to put any oil on that or not, but either way, that's what I've got going on here. And I've got the temperature control. Had to read in the book to figure out how to do that. To set it to 400 is what I did. And I'm gonna let it burn for an hour. And after that, if I think that I need to throw a little more oil on top of that, I don't know what you call that, flame diffuser or what have you, I may. But I may not. If it looks good, I got some ribs, y'all, from the old Piney Woods homestead. One of those hogs that we grew out and produced on our own, butchered right there on the homestead. It's not a full rack or anything. It's, I think it was, we had done this for my parents, and it's like 3 big ribs. And so I'm just gonna do a little cook for our supper, and I'll show you a little bit of that too. Why not? But y'all, I like this. Smoke's rolling out like it's supposed to, out the front of this hut and out the sides. I like it. I like it a lot. One thing I failed to mention is I did run some 12-2 direct burial wire from the back of the house and put in a weatherproof receptacle out here. That is buried at shallow, less than 6 inches in the ground, and it's got conduit running off of the panel on the back of the house with a 20 amp breaker, and it's sleeved in some conduit underneath the building with an elbow turning up. Then it goes right into that receptacle. So pretty easy job. It was just hot and nasty when I did it. It's done and I'm happy with it. Y'all, while I'm sitting here letting this thing do its burn off and getting ready to throw those ribs on here, some spares, I guess you could call it that. You'll see what I'm talking about when I do it. It was not a professional butcher job. It was portioned out for my parents. And anyways, Mama gave us a bunch of the pork off of that pig. And so I just wanted to thank y'all. Y'all, we've been doing YouTube now since August. I want to say it is of 2021, or it might have been 2020. Either way, I'm wanting to say we're 4 years in. I'd have to look back and see, but y'all, that a couple of these last videos put us over 10,000 subscribers, and y'all, that's never our intent. We told you early on, if you followed us. Annie, stop. She's clawing me. She likes to be in my lap. We told you early on, our goal was to just show you part of our lifestyle, spread the gospel, connect with people. And so we do appreciate that, though. This is, and I've told people before, yeah, YouTube's a business. It buys our cat food a lot of the time. And it's not our sole source of income by any means. I'm not a preacher. I'm a old country boy that likes to do a whole bunch of things, and Lisa's old country girl that likes to do a whole lot of things too. And so we show you that from fishing now that we're living on the coast back in southeast North Carolina, where my roots are. And I like being where my roots are. And we appreciate y'all tuning in. Not every video is going to be a sit and talk on current events or anything like that. Sometimes it's just fishing. Gonna be some cooking involved too, y'all. That's just how we roll around here. But for those of you that have stuck with us all this time, y'all, we are very grateful for you. And for anybody new that showed up and you don't mind watching something that's mundane like showing off a grill shack, y'all, we appreciate you too. Y'all, not many people come down our dead end road unless folks live here or they're renting an Airbnb. And saw a sketchy pickup truck coming in a while ago with a couple of white dudes in it, kind of sketchy looking. My tip for you today, if you don't know this, most home break-ins occur during the daylight hours. And I recognized these people don't belong, and they saw me back here, my scraggly beard sitting back here at the cook shack, and abruptly turned around and got out of Dodge. But not a sponsored video, but y'all, we use Simply Safe. And I had a couple of decals up, but I've got them here on the front of my building. I've got some larger ones. Got one on a signpost there at the front of the house. Got one on the back fence where the entry is for that, the big ones. Get yourself a decent security system, whether it's monitored or not. And I can say we've used Simply Safe now for probably 10 years and have been very happy with it. Not a sponsored video, probably should be at this point in time, but just letting you know, guys, this thing works. You catch them on sale, buy it, and get your house set up. And Lisa and I are always Second Amendment, all the time. And with my background and my training, I know that I need to be. And so, all the time, y'all, Second Amendment, all the time. All right, I did 2 cycles of burn off on this thing. I did an hour at 400 degrees and I backed it off at 375, spread a little more on top of that dome thing in there. I don't know what to really call that. It's the flame diffuser, what have you. Anyways, I've got the temp down to 220. I'm gonna throw on some ribs. I'll show you these real quick when they're going on the grill. This is off of a Hereford hog. It was about 2 years old. The thing weighed over 400 pounds and it was a job and a half to process it, but we did it. this is not a spare rib, not a baby back. It's kind of a mixture of both. And if you notice, the ribs are running this way. So this is actually loin up here. There's 3 ribs and they're long. They're probably close to 12 inches, y'all. But that's how we butchered this hog, so that my parents at the time would have just a small meal whenever they cook. So that's what I'm cooking today. Hereford hog, a unique cut of ribs. So hopefully y'all aren't too disappointed, but this is the end of the video. This is not the first cook I want to show on the channel. This is the first cook, yes, but y'all want to do something a little bit bigger and better. This is our supper tonight. Just testing out this new cooker. So I'll post some pictures on our community posts. That way you can see these ribs when they're done. I put some Kinder's cherry chipotle seasoning on them last night, a rub. Let them in the fridge overnight. I got some Duke's Southern sauces here. You know, we're Southerners around here if you can't tell by the accent. Mother-in-law gave us that. Excited to try that. Y'all just looking for a fun, relaxing day. Opening up this cook shack for the first time. Stick around, there'll be more walking talks, sitting talks as time goes on. Getting back into some cooking today. I've had enough of the, I got thick skin, y'all. Just tell you like that. I got thick skin. Develop thick skin. You can do it yourself. Y'all have a good day and a great week. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise too high. We will see you on the next one.